Westinghouse, Studio One. Westinghouse, the name that means sureness. Whether it's on America's fastest cooking electric range or electric stairways for our stores. Whether it's a product for your home, or your business, or your farm, or your factory, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
Madame.
You coward.
Hot, huh?
Yeah. Give me one of those nickel champagnes, will you? Excuse me.
Sorry, it's my fault. I wasn't looking where I was going.
Mike? Aren't you Mike? Mike Troshko.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't you remember me?
Well,
Annette. Remember Annette?
no, not... Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Well, what happened to all the freckles and the glasses?
Oh, I gave them both up. You've been gone a long time, Mike.
Too long.
Are you going to stay home now?
I guess so. I just got here. I haven't seen my mother yet. She's waiting for me.
Oh, well, be sure to come up to our place and say hello. We're still up on the top floor.
I will if I get time.
Make time. Come up and see us.
If you really mean it.
Of course I mean it. Why shouldn't I? Don't forget now.
Thanks, Ranger. And spaceman's luck.
Ma, I can't wait around any longer. I can't leave Charlie alone in the store so long.
Wait, Phil, it's your brother.
But I can't, Ma. 1 o'clock should mean 1 o'clock.
It's not his fault. Now, just wait. Let me, Phil. kept you so long. You're late. Your letter said 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, sure. I was afraid maybe they'd change their mind.
Oh, nothing like that, Ma.
You look good, Mike. Very good. How do you feel?
Okay, I guess. Hello, Phil.
Welcome home, Mike.
Good to be home.
My boys. My 2 boys, both home again.
Well, you sure took a long time getting here.
Your letter said 1 o'clock, sure. We were worried.
It wasn't my fault, Ma. I got off the train, 125th Street, and I went over to catch a streetcar. I stood there and waited. I don't know how long I stood there on the corner. Finally, a cop came by, and I asked him what's the matter with the streetcars. He laughed at me. He says, "Where have you been?" I almost told him.
Why didn't you?
Mike.
How was I supposed to know they stopped running the streetcars 4 years ago? They stopped running the streetcars. What did they leave the tracks in the street for? I stand there like a dope or something.
You ought to keep track of the times. There's been a lot of progress around here.
Come in the kitchen. I fixed lunch for you. Goulash. I know you miss my goulash.
Bet I did.
Phil? Lunch, Phil. He's worried about the store. He's got nobody to watch it but Charlie. I said, close the store. Your brother's coming home. Close it.
You can't just close a place of business, Ma.
Well, you can for your brother. He's around the store enough. Too much anyhow. He's just in the store and around this house, that's all.
Go on, Ma.
Where are you going, Phil? Lunch is ready.
I gotta get back to the store.
Oh, stay and have lunch. You can take Mike down with you. He can start work today.
He'll see plenty of the store and plenty of me. Look, Ma, what do you want me to bring for dinner? The limas are nice, and I got plenty.
Stay, have lunch. You can't eat sandwiches all the time.
Look, Ma, do you want the limas?
All right. Limas.
I see.
So long, Phil. Hasn't Phil ever thought of getting married?
Oh, married. I tell him all the time, find a girl and get married. He says he's got enough expenses on this apartment without paying the bills on another one. He's got enough to do to take care of all by himself. I cooked the goulash earlier. I've been keeping it hot.
I see you got a new refrigerator.
Yeah. Phil bought it for me last month. Eat, Mike. Eat.
Well, it's just as good as it ever was, Ma. Just as good.
Glass of wine.
No thanks, Ma.
Uncle John's wine from California.
The rules say I can't drink any intoxicating liquors.
Oh, wine isn't intoxicating. Wine's wine.
That's the rule, Ma.
That parole board man came here and talked to Phil, and he talked to me. He didn't say anything about that rule.
I'll skip it, Ma. Thanks.
Drink it. Drink it, Mike. You love it.
Thanks, I'll skip it.
All right. Skip it. You'll be a good boy, Mike. Phil's going to give you a job in the store. You'll work hard and you'll stay out of trouble.
Ma, I've turned over a new leaf. The past is past. I'm sorry for what I did.
I know you are.
7.5 years is enough for me.
You're going to be a good boy, I know.
I'm not a boy any longer, Ma.
You're still my boy.
All right. You want me to be your boy, I'll be your boy. When I was coming in, I saw Annette. I didn't recognize she was just a kid when I went away.
Well, she's a fine girl, Annette.
She asked me to come upstairs and visit her. Think she meant it?
Well, why shouldn't she mean it?
Well, you know, I've been in trouble and people don't like to... Well, she just wasn't being nice, was she, Ma? Was she?
Listen, Mike.
Yeah?
I'm ashamed of myself. When you went away, I told everybody you were going into the army. Lots of boys were going into the army. I'm ashamed of myself.
You don't have to be ashamed of yourself for something I did, Ma.
When people asked me where you'd gone on your furloughs, I said you'd gone to Uncle John's in California. I'm ashamed of myself.
Ma, it wasn't your fault what happened. Look, you had a tough job. You raised Phil and me all by yourself. And look at Phil. He's a successful businessman. Ma, it's my own fault I got in trouble, not yours.
Come on. Eat. Your food's getting cold.
I'll eat later, Ma. I'm not very hungry now.
Well, where are you going, Mike?
I'll be back later, Ma. I have to report to the parole officer.
Well, you don't have to go now.
The rule says you have to report within 24 hours after you get home.
Well, there's time enough tomorrow. There'll be plenty of time.
I want to go now, Ma. I want to go now.
All right. Whatever you want.
You're Mr. Droshko?
Yes, sir.
I'm the officer supervising your parole. Sit down.
Thank you, sir.
We're going to be seeing quite a lot of each other for some time to come. Cigarette?
Thank you, Mr. Dolan.
For a while, I'd like you to drop in this office every week. What would be the best day and time for you?
Whenever you say, sir.
Yeah, but you'll be working. When would be most convenient for you to get off?
Well, my brother used to write me that Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays were the busiest days at the store, so...
How would Tuesdays be?
That'll be fine, sir.
All right, what time on Tuesday?
Almost any time, I guess. Well, maybe lunch hour would be better, then I wouldn't have to lose so much time on the job.
All right, suppose we make it 1 o'clock on Tuesday, huh?
Yes, sir.
If it turns out that that's not convenient for you, you let me know. We'll see what we can do about getting it changed.
Yes, sir.
If it works out all right, it won't be long before we can eliminate the visits to this office, Mr. Droshko.
Yes, sir.
Now, you served 7 years and 3 months for armed robbery and Sing Sing. I don't suppose there's any need to remind you of the seriousness of the crime of armed robbery.
No, sir.
When you left the institution, you were given a set of rules regarding parole.
Yes, sir, I have them right
I
here.
want to go over a few of those rules with you because they're important, Mr. Droshko. They're very important to you. But first, let's make sure that we understand one thing. Although you've been released from prison, under the law, you're still serving out the remainder of your sentence. Now, you made a contract with the state of New York to obey certain rules. Violation of any one of those rules may send you back to prison. It's within the discretion of this office to revoke your parole. It doesn't even require a hearing or court proceedings.
I understand, sir.
All right, first of all, you're not to leave the state of New York without written permission. That means you can't even go across the river to Jersey, not even for a day or an evening.
I know.
You're not to move, to get married or change jobs without talking it over with me first and getting my permission. Of course, associations with persons with criminal records is forbidden. And you've got to keep away from narcotics, intoxicating liquors.
Yes, sir.
Well, go ahead, loosen it up.
I beg your pardon?
Your collar, you can open it up if you like.
Oh.
Now, as a matter of procedure, the police have been notified of your release, so they know that you're back in the community. If you should happen to be arrested on suspicion or questioned by any officers, federal or local, I've got to have a report on it. And that report must come from you.
I understand, sir.
Do you have a license to operate a car?
No, sir. It expired while I was in.
All right. you're not to renew that license without getting my permission. That means that you can't drive an automobile for the time being. That's better, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
What time's your brother close the store at night?
About 7 o'clock, I think.
And you expect to be there until that time every evening?
Yes, sir.
All right, I think you should be in your house no later than midnight. That'll give you plenty of time to eat your dinner, visit a few friends, or go to a movie. Now, Mr. Droshko, have you got any questions?
Well, yes, sir, I do have one.
What's that?
Well, it's about my mother.
Your mother's a fine woman, Mr. Droshko. She was mighty anxious to have you home.
Yes, sir, I know. Well, she's a little old-fashioned. She serves wine with every meal. When I got home, she wanted me to have a drink. I couldn't understand why I wouldn't. I never cared about it one way or the other. I never did, but well, she almost cried when I said I couldn't have any. Just table wine, she says. Serve it with every meal. She almost cried.
If I were you, Mr. Droshko, I'd keep on drinking water.
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me a little about your job.
Well, my brother Phil has this fruit store, fruits and vegetables. I suppose all I'll be doing at first is some clerking. Then later, my brother's going to take me down with him in the morning in the truck to help with the buying. We get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go down to the commission merchants, buy what we need for the day. And we take it home, sell it to the customers. Guess that's about all there is to it. At least that's all I know about it right now.
Well, that sounds fine. Good luck, Mike. All the luck in the world.
Thank you, sir.
Let's go. Come on, hit the deck. Hit the deck. Oh.
Is that time already?
Yeah, it's that time.
Oh, man.
What time did you get to bed last night?
A little before midnight.
Annette?
Yeah. We went for a walk. She's a nice kid. I like her.
Do you?
Where were you? All these years in the same building, you never even noticed her?
Who said I didn't notice her? Come on, will you? Act alive.
Boy, it's hot.
It's summer. What'd you expect?
Boy, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Look at these room.
Sure. Sing Sing was a bed of roses. They gave you breakfast in bed.
What's eating you, anyway?
1 week you've been working. Already you want to quit.
Who says I want to quit?
Well, then stop complaining.
Well, Phil, I know you can't expect much, but give me a chance.
Sure. Give you a chance. Chance to do this. Chance to do that. That's all you want is a chance.
Phil, I always kind of thought you were anxious to take me in with you.
Look, Mike. Now is as good a time as any. As far as I was concerned, you could have stayed up in Sing Sing for the rest of your life. If it wasn't for Ma, I would have let you rot up there. I wouldn't have turned a finger to get you out. You get mixed up like you did, you get what you deserve, and all I hear from Ma is Mike, Mike, Mike. I give her everything she wants. I work like a dog. I don't go around with any Annette. I don't get married. I don't have a life of my own. You're laying up in Sing Sing, and all I hear is Mike, Mike, Mike.
Mike, I told you that I'm going to try to make it up to you as best I can. Make it up to both of you, you and Ma.
Yeah? How are you going to make up 7 years? You gonna make it up by seeing that Annette kid every night and then complaining because you gotta go to work at 5 in the morning?
Leave Annette out of this.
She'd get out of it herself fast enough if she knew where you've been the last 7 years.
I'm gonna tell her.
Oh, sure. I can just see you telling her.
I'm gonna tell her when the time comes.
You have to slam that door so hard.
Sorry. Phil, I always thought you were anxious to have me home. I thought that...
Well, you thought wrong. Look, Mike, brother or no brother, I'm not gonna take any guff from you. You do what you gotta do around here, and you do it good. Because a bum report from me to that parole officer, and you'll go right back where you came from. All I'd have to do is tell him you're not cooperating, and you'll be heading back to Sing Sing so fast you won't know what hit you. And don't think Ma can pull your chestnuts out of the fire. Not with me. No, sir, she can't. I'm just telling you now. I don't want any nonsense from you. Now do you know where we stand?
Yeah, I know where we stand.
All right. Come on, get a move on. Everything down at the market will be picked over before you get your eyes open.
You've seen part 1 of Mark of Cain. Let's turn to our Westinghouse program and Betty Furness. Dim out at 50 miles.
Yes, with lots of television sets, you get a dim picture like this when you tune in a station that's 50 miles or so away. But not with the Westinghouse set. Your picture is always clear like this because Westinghouse now brings you a clearer picture from a greater distance than ever before possible. And that's because every Westinghouse set is now equipped with that new electronic miracle called the Cascode Tuner. And let me tell you about another brand new feature that's exclusive with Westinghouse. It's called Automatic Fringe Area Control. And here's what it means. Whether you live close to a television station, halfway to a fringe area, or up to 100 miles away, you never have to touch your Westinghouse set because it adjusts automatically to any distance in that range. And well, oh dear, isn't that annoying when that happens to your picture? We call that flop over. But you won't get any flop over on a new Westinghouse set because of that wonderful Westinghouse exclusive called the electronic clarifier. And streaks like this can be terribly annoying, too. They can spoil the whole program, but you won't get streaks on a new Westinghouse set either, because the electronic clarifier prevents them. In fact, the electronic clarifier means no streaks, no flutter, and no flop over in every area where the television signal is normal. And you're going to be all ready for those new ultra-high frequency channels with your new Westinghouse set, too. You just plug in this exclusive UHF receptor in the back of the set, and presto, you have a new channel. It's as simple as plugging in a lamp cord. Stop in at your Westinghouse dealer and have him tell you about the really generous trade-in allowance that he'll give you on your old set. And see this beautiful new Westinghouse set. It comes in mahogany veneer or in modern frosted oak. You'll love owning it. And remember, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
We return now to Westinghouse Studio 1 and Mark of Cain.
Beautiful tonight. Just beautiful.
Yeah, it is nice.
Maybe we shouldn't have gone to the movies. Maybe it would have been nicer in the park or someplace.
Movie wasn't so bad.
No, I guess not. Not if you like that kind of picture. I never can understand the guys in those gangster pictures. Why do they do what they do? They know they'll only go to jail or get killed in the end.
I don't know. I don't write them or act in them.
I guess it's for money. I guess it's because they see other people with things that they want, and they feel they have a right to take them from them. Don't you think so?
You got me.
But why did that boy have to do such a thing? He was really a nice kid when he started off. Had a good family and a nice girl. Why did he have to make all that trouble for himself?
I guess if he hadn't had all that trouble, there wouldn't have been any movie.
Maybe that's the answer.
Well,
Oh, it's too nice to go upstairs. Let's sit here a while.
yeah, I know it's nice, but I gotta get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Just a few minutes more, please.
Okay. A few minutes.
Mike.
Hmm?
If you don't like seeing me so often, you don't have to, you know.
Well, of course I like seeing you. What gave you the idea I didn't?
Well, tonight, for instance, I don't think you said 2 words. It was like you were someplace else.
It's not you, Annette. Believe me, it isn't.
Well, then what is it?
Well,
You aren't getting along so well with your brother, are you? You don't like working for him.
no, not very much.
Well, you tried it for a month. If you don't like it, just quit.
It's not that easy.
Phil's been getting along fine by himself. Such a small business, there really isn't any room for you, is there?
Well, my help, I think.
But you don't like it, do you? Phil's kind of hard to get along with, isn't he?
It's not easy.
Well, there's no law says you have to work for your brother. Any more than there's a law that said I had to go out with him.
Oh, so that's the way it is.
He asked me, and I went out with him a couple of times. You know, to a dance and a couple of movies. I just didn't enjoy his company, that's all.
That clears up a few things.
I just want you to understand in case it ever came up between you. And if you're worried about your mother, well, she'll understand. If you don't want to work for your brother, she'll understand that too.
Look, Annette. Now, listen, I gotta tell you something. I don't know whether you're gonna like it, but I gotta tell you.
Yes, Mike, what is it?
Well, Annette. Annette, let's get married.
Mike.
Will you? Will you marry me?
Yes, Mike, sure.
Can't be right away. I gotta get a few things straightened out first, but soon, huh? Soon?
If it's a job, Mike, I don't mind, honest.
It's the job and other things.
We'll get along fine, Mike. We'll get along just fine. I know we will.
I want to go up and tell Phil right now.
Oh, there's no hurry, Mike.
Yeah, but I want to tell him and get it over with. You coming up?
No. You go in. I'll sit here for a while.
Okay.
Good night, Mike.
Good night.
And thanks.
Thanks for what?
Thanks for asking me.
You're welcome.
that's about enough of that for tonight, huh?
Where's Phil? Asleep?
No. Why?
Well, where is he?
He's in the kitchen making a sandwich. Mike, no fights with Phil, please. No more fights.
I just want to talk to him, Ma.
Well, I'll go with you and help you make
No,
a sandwich.
Ma, you stay here.
Mike, please.
Stay here, please, Ma. Sorry. Phil, I want to talk to you.
All right. Go ahead, talk.
I've asked Annette to marry me.
So?
She said she would.
Even after you told her where you've been?
I didn't tell her.
What do you think she's going to say when she finds out?
She's not gonna find out. Phil, I want to quit the store and get another job.
What's the matter? You don't like the working conditions?
I can stand all the work in the world, but I can't stand you nagging at me all day long. All day, every day.
I think you better stay, Mike. I think you ought to stay around where I can keep an eye on you.
I want to quit.
Suppose I tell that parole officer you're lousy on the job. Supposing I tell him you want to steal from your own brother.
That's a lie.
Sure it's a lie, but that's what I'll tell him. What do you think he'll believe? And you know where you'd be headed back to if I did that, don't you?
Look, Phil, will you give me a break? What did I ever do to you?
What did you ever do to me? I'll tell you what you did to me. You went and got yourself loused up for 8 years. You left me alone with Ma and the responsibility and everything. On top of her nagging me night and day to spend dough I didn't have to get a lawyer for your trial and dough to send her up to see every visitor's day. That's what you did to me. You think I'd care if you ruined your own life, if that's all there was to it? You ruined my life, too. That's what you did. You ruined my life.
Phil, I know how rough it was on you. I'm going to try to make it up to you. Believe me, I am. Phil, will you give me a break? Let me get out and get another job. I'm asking you, my own brother.
7 years ago, I forgot I had a brother. If it wasn't for Ma, I'd have kept it that way. You're nothing but a no-good tramp, and the sooner Annette finds out about you, the better.
You're not going to tell her.
Let go.
Tell me you're not going to say anything to her.
Let go.
Tell me or I'll beat the life out of you.
I've been waiting 7 years for this.
Stop it! Stop it!
Listen, Ma. I did what you wanted me to. I worked to get him out. I got him out. I gave him a job. All right, now I'm through. It's enough. I've done enough.
You only think you've done enough. You haven't done a thing.
Oh, show some appreciation.
Appreciation for what?
Go out and rob some more drugstores. That's how you can show your appreciation. Rob some more drugstores.
Mike, where you going?
Out. I'm going out.
Now, Mike, the rules.
The rules. Give Phil the rules. He knows all about them.
It says you got to be in the house by midnight.
I'm tired of what it says. I'm tired of a lot of things.
No, Mike. Phil, go after him. Bring him back.
Oh, let him go, Ma. If he gets in trouble again, we'll both be better off.
Oh, Phil, he's your brother. Go get him.
I'm sick of doing things for him. All my life I've been doing things for him. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of getting him out of trouble. I want to do something for myself for a change. I don't care about him. I mean it. I'm telling you so right now.
He's your brother. Your brother.
I don't care what he is.
If it was you, I'd do the same thing for you. I'll go after your brother and bring him back. Go get him.
I'm sorry, Ma. I can't. I can't.
All right. Did you forget your key?
We're sorry to disturb you at this hour, Mrs. Droshko, but we have to talk to Mike.
Mike?
Oh, that's right. This is Detective George Snell of the 44th Squad.
How do you do, ma'am? Can we talk to him?
What is it? What's the matter?
We just want to talk to him.
Well, he's not here. I've been waiting for him. He hasn't come home yet.
Is it all right if we wait?
It's the first time it happened, the very first time. He's been home a month, 5 weeks, and he's never been out late before. It's the first time.
What time did he leave home?
I don't know, 11:30, something like that. He went to a picture show. He came home, then he went out again.
Where'd he go, Mrs. Droshko?
I don't know where he went. If I knew, I'd have gone after him. You've come to take him away, haven't you? That's why you're here. You're going to take him away.
We just want to talk to him.
He's a good boy, Mr. Dolan, a good boy. Don't take him, please. He won't stay out late again. He had an argument with his brother. He came home, he was going to bed, and then he had an argument with his brother. He won't stay out late again, believe me. It won't happen again.
I'm afraid it's a little more serious than just staying out, Mrs. Droshko.
Serious? What do you mean, serious?
What time did you say he left here?
11:30, something like that.
A little after midnight, a drugstore on 184th Street was held up. The proprietor got shot.
It wasn't Mike. Mike didn't do it. He couldn't have. He's a good boy. He didn't do it.
That's why Mike went to the penitentiary in the first place, for holding up drugstores, 4 of them.
Yes, I know, but he didn't do this. I know he didn't do it. Well, they've come to take Mike. They've come to get him.
Is that right, Mr. Dolan?
We want to talk to him.
No, they came to get him. I know they came to get him.
What is? What happened?
A drugstore held up. The druggist got shot. He's in the hospital.
Oh, don't let them take him. He's a good boy. He didn't do it.
I seem to think he did,
The
Ma.
druggist's wife was in the back of the store. She saw what happened. The hold-up man came in and he pulled a gun on the druggist. The druggist resisted and he was shot. We took the wife over to the station house and showed her pictures of gunmen who've been known to hold up drugstores and pictures of recent parolees. Mike is both. She picked out his picture.
He didn't do it. He didn't do it.
How is the druggist?
He'll be all right.
And was the wife sure about Mike, I mean?
She identified his picture.
Your mom says that you and Mike had a fight.
Yeah, we had a fight, an argument.
What about?
An argument, family argument.
And then Mike left?
Yeah, he left.
Well, what was the argument about?
Hold still, police officer.
What's the matter here? What's going
Mike,
on?
tell him you didn't do it. Tell him.
Do
Where
what?
have you been, Mike?
The place just around? You sent for him to come get me, didn't you?
Now, wait a minute.
That's another one of your lousy
wait a minute.
tricks! You're full of lousy tricks!
Well, he had nothing to do with it. This is Detective George Snell, the 44th Squad. It was his idea.
Did you hold up a drugstore on 184th Street about midnight, shoot the druggist?
No. Who says I did?
Well, where were you, Mike?
I told you I was out walking. Walking and thinking.
Where?
Park around? I don't know.
You weren't anywhere near 184th Street?
No, I wasn't.
He wasn't. He just told
Did
you.
anybody see you out walking? Anybody that you knew?
Yeah, somebody saw me. I was with somebody.
You were walking all this time? You left the house at 11:30? It's now nearly 4, and you were walking all this time?
That's right. I was walking and thinking.
Who was with you, Mike?
Nobody was with me.
You just said that you were with somebody.
I was by myself.
Come on, Mike, let's go.
No. You can't take him. You can't.
Please, Mrs.
He's a
Droshko.
good boy.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Droshko.
What do you mean you're sorry? You're taking him away.
I wanted to see him turn out well as much as you did. I thought he was a good boy, too.
And now let's pause a moment and look at our Westinghouse program again. Lady in search of an answer. The answer to what?
The answer to which type of washer will get her really dirty clothes the cleanest, and which will be safe and gentle for her very delicate things. Does she want a washing machine with an agitator action, or does she want one with tumbling action? Well, neither, as a matter of fact. What she wants is both. And she can get them both in the new 1953 Westinghouse laundromat. The washer with the exclusive Westinghouse Agitumble action. Now, let's see why. Let's take a look into the wash basket of a machine with an agitator and see how it works. See how the clothes in the center between the agitator's blades get plenty of agitation. Notice how the blades rotate there in the center to whip the clothes clean. Now, out here at the edges, the agitation is not so hard. The action is slower. But let's see what happens in a new Westinghouse laundromat. Watch how all the laundry is equally agitated. See these fins in the laundromat's basket? Now, in slow motion, watch how they agitate every single piece by picking it up and dropping it as the basket revolves. Plenty of agitation and tumbling. That's why it's called Agitumble action. The gentle Agitumble action lifts and tumbles all the clothes over and over so that each piece is agitated equally. The entire load is constantly agitated and therefore washed uniformly clean. Now this side view of the laundromat shows another Westinghouse exclusive, the slanting wash basket. The clothes are washed in this position. Then, when the basket tilts back, the water drains out, and the clothes tumble, as these arrows indicate, up and away from the dirty wash water. So the water drains away from the clothes and not through them. So when you buy your new washer, get the one that gets all the clothes in every load sparkling clean. The only one with Agitumble action and the exclusive slanted basket. See this amazing Westinghouse laundromat at your dealer. It's America's favorite automatic washer. And see the Westinghouse clothes dryer, too. Together, they're America's favorite twins. And remember, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
We return now to Westinghouse Studio 1 and Mark of Cain.
Relax, Mike. You've been through this before. Let me do the work. Now, just keep them limp. That's it. Relax. All right, wash them up. Look, Mike, I should have been off at 1 o'clock. I got Mr. Dolan out of bed at 2:30. You've been up all night. Now, what do you say? Just tell us about it and we'll all get some sleep. Look, the druggist's wife is in the back room. She saw who shot her husband. She picked out your picture. My partner's on his way here from the hospital. He's bringing her along. Now, Mike, if she recognized you from your picture, she's certainly going to recognize you in person. What do you say?
I don't know anything about it.
Oh, what do you do with a guy like this? Huh? You can't squirm out of it, Mike. Now, you left the house at 11:30. The druggist was shot at 12:10. You've got a record for armed robbery of drugstores, and the wife identified your picture.
You still want us to believe that you were out walking for 4 hours all alone?
That's right.
We just want the truth, Mike. That's all we want.
You wouldn't know the truth if you heard it.
You can't talk to him now.
I don't want to talk to him. My mother thinks you should have a lawyer, so I came down to see about getting him a lawyer.
All right, bring your lawyer to felony court, 10 a.m. He'll be arraigned there. There's nothing can be done now.
Is that right, Mr. Dolan?
He's also being held as a parole violator, so don't worry about a bondsman. There'll be no bail.
George?
All right, I'll have the lawyer there in the morning.
He has got Mrs. Myers downstairs.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. Tell him to hold it. I'll be right down.
What is it?
We're going to have a little show-up. The druggist's wife is downstairs. She saw the holdup. Now, will you give us a hand?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, we've got to find out if she can identify him in person the way she did from the... Never mind. It's your own brother. I'm sorry.
What do you want me to do?
Okay. Let's have a show-up.
You want to give us a hand?
Sure. What do you want me to do?
Stand over there.
Right.
Okay, mister. This is your party. You pick your spot.
Hope this won't take long. I've got to get back to the hospital. My husband...
No, it won't take long. Now, all you have to do is walk over there, take a look at all those men, and if you see the one who shot your husband, tap him on the shoulder. Now, take a good look and be sure.
This is the man in the picture.
He's the one who shot your husband.
Well, I'll tell you. No.
You're certain?
Absolutely. The face of that man I'll never forget.
But you picked out a picture, Mrs. Myers, a picture of this man.
Since when is a picture flesh and blood? No, no. Absolutely. Oh, maybe he looks like him a little bit, but no, absolutely no, this is not the man.
You're certain?
Well, listen, my husband is lying in the hospital with a bullet in him. Do you think if I saw the man that shot him, I don't love my husband enough to see that man goes to jail? No, this is not the man.
All right, boys, break it up. I'll have somebody drive you home, Mrs. Myers.
I would rather be driven back to the hospital.
Okay, I'll have someone drive you to the hospital.
Well, Mike, you gave me a bad time there for a minute.
I told you I didn't do it, Mr. Dolan. That's all I could say. I'm glad, Mike. Believe me, I'm glad. I'll bet you're glad.
I think you were right doing that.
Right or wrong, what's the difference?
Well, he's had a hard time of it for 7 years, maybe as hard a time as you had. You ought to give him a chance.
I don't know whether I want to give him a chance.
Well, he gave you a chance, a big one.
Yeah, I guess you got a point there.
Were you really out walking for 4 hours?
That's right. Phil and I had a fight. Well, there's a girl upstairs of us. I took her to the movies. We came home. Such a nice night. She wanted to stay on the stoop, so I went up. And later, when I ran out of the house, she was still there, so she stopped me. We walked together.
All that time?
All that time. We had a lot to talk about.
Well, why didn't you save yourself a lot of trouble? This girl could have accounted for your time. She'd have given you an alibi.
I didn't want to drag her into it. She doesn't know about me, Mr. Dolan. I want to marry her.
Oh, you asking my permission?
Yes, sir. Well, that is, unless you're thinking of sending me back for staying out too late.
No, we're not going to send you back, Mike. But we've got a few things to talk over first, especially about your job now. We'll talk about that, huh?
Yes, sir.
And about that girl. I think it might be a good idea if you did get married, moved into a place of your own. But you got to be fair with her. You have to tell her the truth, because she'll find out about it someday if you don't.
Well, maybe if I tell her, maybe she won't marry me.
Oh, but supposing you did marry her, she found out a week later, even a year later. That wouldn't be any better, would it?
No, sir. I don't guess it would. And she ought to know now while she's still got the chance to back out. I'll tell her. I'll tell her right now. Can I?
Sure. Go ahead.
Oh, excuse me. I don't blame you. Go ahead. Well, that one looked awful good.
Yeah. Some of them look too good.
Yeah, you know there's no sense in sending this downtown. They'd only enter it on the kid's record and then send it down to Washington to the FBI and enter it on his record down there. Just make a lot of bookkeeping all around, and, well, it wouldn't do any good.
You got to have economy in mind on this job.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. Save the taxpayers a couple of pennies.
Honey, what's the matter? What are you doing up?
I've been waiting for you.
You didn't need to do that.
What is it, Mike? What happened? After I came upstairs, I heard voices. I looked out the window and saw you go out with two men. I didn't know what had happened.
And that...
Finally, I came down. Your mother was crying. She wouldn't tell me what happened. Then Phil came back. He wouldn't say anything either. What's the matter, Mike? Who are those men?
Look, honey, sit down a minute. We took a long walk last night. You asked a lot of questions about the Army and about when I was supposed to be living in San Francisco, and I gave you a lot of answers. Well, they were all lies. I've never even been in San Francisco.
It really doesn't make any difference, Mike. I don't care.
But it might make a difference. I've been trying to tell you. I've been ashamed to tell you.
Ashamed to tell me what?
I didn't want to say anything or do anything that might make me lose you.
Mike.
Now, wait a minute. Let me finish. I wasn't in the Army. For nearly 8 years, I've been in Sing Sing.
Sing Sing?
It's okay. It's okay, I understand.
I knew it'd be all right.
No, it's not all right. I just told Annette. It's no good, Ma. It's no good at all. But I had to tell her.
She should know, Mike.
Well, it's all off.
There are other girls. Lots of other girls.
Not for me.
Oh, just wait. Time cures all.
Time cures all. What good did 7.5 years do me? No good at all.
What did you run away for, Mike? I love you, Mike. I want to marry you.
Kiss her, Mike. She wants to marry you. If there's going to be a wedding, there must be a toast. There's an old saying, no toast, no sons. I don't believe it, but we won't take a chance.
Hey, Ma, I can't drink the rules.
Oh, this one time, I'm sure they won't mind.
Oh, I guess they won't.
Mike. Phil?
Furness wants to talk about sweet music and hot coffee.
Sweet music in your ears and hot coffee right beside you. Doesn't that sound like a wonderful way to wake up? Well, that is the way you can wake up when you own one of these smart new 1953 Westinghouse clock radios. It's brand new, and isn't it beautiful? You just set this control when you go to sleep, and the first thing that you hear in the morning will be music. And then back here is the connection that will start your morning coffee perking even before you wake up, or you can use it to turn your Westinghouse electric sheet or blanket on or off. Oh, and there's something else, too. If you set this control right here, the Westinghouse clock radio will even sing you to sleep. It turns off automatically as you drift off to sleep. And, of course, this electric clock always gives you just exactly the right time. This beautifully restyled new Westinghouse clock radio comes in 3 smart decorator colors, in red, green, and ivory. And being Westinghouse, its tone for a radio of this size is just out of this world. Prices for Westinghouse clock radios start as low as $34.95, slightly higher in the West. See them all tomorrow at your dealers, and remember, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
This is Paul Brinson saying goodnight for Westinghouse and reminding you, next week is American Heart Week. So help your heart fund. Help your heart. Send your contribution to HEART, H-E-A-R-T, care of your local post office. And now until next week, good night.